So here's the $1,000,000 question. Why do women reward toxic behavior by men and then complain about it?
Yeah, this is a really interesting topic. So generally, I want you to think about this for a second. When you hear women complain about a guy they used to date, their ex, it's usually one of the few same things, right? My ex was a piece of shit. My ex didn't know how to treat me. My ex was a narcissist. My ex cheated on me, right? Now, when I listen to women complain about their ex, what I'm really hearing is this is the type of guy she was aroused by. This is the type of guy she was into. This is the type of guy she dated and slept with. Correct? Like, I get that you're upset or angry at your ex, but at the end of the day, that's who you dated. That's who you slept with. So when we say women reward toxic behavior and then complain about it, it's exactly what we mean. They'll go and make these poor decisions, sleep with these type of guys, and then when stuff goes south, they're always the victim.
Well, that's the thing, that the bad boys always get the chance. They always want to sleep with the bad boy. You can't give the good guy a chance because, oh, he's too nice. But the bad boy will always get the opportunity because that's what turns them on. That's what arouses them. And that's where it's kind of backwards.
The logical thing to do would be, okay, I get it. I'll give you that. You know, maybe you had one toxic ex that treated you like shit and it was a learning experience. Then watch who she dates next. Watch the next 2-3 boyfriends because most of the time it's the same thing. It's the same story over and over again. The logical thing to do would be to say, okay, I had a bad experience with this type of guy. I guarantee you she has at least 5 guys waiting in the friend zone. None of those guys is going to get a chance. She's going to go back and do the same thing over and over again. So women absolutely, and this won't apply to all women. I get it. Like we're generalizing, but like this is what tends to really happen. Like women will date these type of guys, sleep with these type of guys because that's like you just said. That's most of the time that type of behavior is a turn on for them. And I think some women will learn through time that what they're turned on by doesn't necessarily make a good husband or a good boyfriend. That's why we've said this multiple times. Why is it that women get to a certain age and then all of a sudden switch up their strategy? And now it's like, okay, well, I need a husband. Let me get the chubby guy that has a steady job and, provides for me. Because they learned that from experience. They know, like, yeah, I'm turned on by these type of guys, but when it comes time to getting a husband or, like, having kids, I need a more stable person in my life. So that's how it tends to go.
Well, that's the thing where it's what they truly feel versus what they say, right? If they really hated it, they would stop dealing with that toxic guy. They would be okay with settling with the good guy, the guy that's going to make them a wife, give the wife a family, house, white picket fence, all the nines. But the thing is that that's what they say they want, but that's not really the course of action they take is not in that direction. So
what's crazy about all this is that not only do women reward toxic behavior, I'll take it a step further. Women punish guys that are good to them. Every guy will go through this at one point or another in their life. Well, they will have a girl in their life where they treat them with respect, and you spend money on them, and you spend time on them, and you get played anyway. You get cheated on anyway, and then like you go through that once or twice, and like guys, I think learn their lesson. I think that happens a couple times, and you just learn the reality of it. Like, okay, this is how women operate. But women will go through that over and over and over again. And some, like I said, they'll get to a certain age where they have no choice but to settle down and settle for something more stable. But generally speaking, this is how it tends to go. They will be aroused by the bad boy type, the guy that's like hard to control. And what I notice happens is sometimes the women will try to date a guy like that and change him.
Yeah.
And again, they're rewarding toxic behavior because they want to change the guy, but that rarely happens.
I see it more and more now versus in the past. There are guys changing. I have to give credit to the guys because there are guys changing. They're not simping as much. I mean, there are many simps out there, but there was a whole lot more before. So we'll give credit to where credit is due. There's guys that aren't just giving women all these things, taking them out, paying for dinners, everything, giving them rides, vacations, all that stuff. It still happens, yes, but less and less. And that I see. That's a good thing. That means that what we're saying, what other YouTubers and other influencers are saying is finally going through a little bit. But it's still an issue. There's no denying that there's still a problem. There's still guys simping. There's still guys being the nice guy, when in reality we know the truth, and the truth is that doesn't work.
100%. And I think, especially over the last few years, I think more and more guys are like, thanks to like podcasts and YouTube in general, there's a lot of great books out on this topic. I think, men are kind of adapting to it, and they're like realizing like, screw this. Like, we're done being nice and providing and chasing. Because like you just said, women say one thing and they do the complete opposite. As a man, you cannot listen to what women say. What they say is nonsense. It's filtered
actions
through their, through their brain, and they always tell you the politically correct. It's like their conscious is speaking, but what they actually do is what you have to watch. Because, like I just said at the beginning of this episode, like when I hear women complain about their exes, I'm not listening to the complaining. I'm listening to like what's behind it, because she's if you listen to women complain, like she's telling you that this is what she dates, that this is what she's attracted to, what she likes.
It's what she wants.
She thinks she's complaining, but I'm listening to it going like, so you like toxic guys. You know what I mean? So
you like guys that are unfaithful behind your back, that cheat on you.
You'll never hear a woman complain and say like, oh, he was too nice to me and he treated me too well, because she's not sleeping with that guy to begin with. You know what I'm saying? That's why that never happens, because those type of guys, she did not date that guy or sleep with him to begin with. So
I mean, whatever ladies tell you, you have to do the complete opposite of it. I mean, being a nice guy will not grant you intimacy or sexual access. I mean, you can try wholeheartedly your best. You can do everything possible to just adhere to what she says she wants and do every step from A to Z, but she won't give you any intimacy or sexual access. Forget about that.
When you ask women what they're attracted to, they'll give you this kind of like politically correct answer, like, well, I just want a man that treats me right and cares about me and all that stuff, and that's bullshit. Because, again, if you were to look at her dating history, it'll clearly show you that is not it does not co-align with what she's actually doing. She's saying one thing, she's doing a completely other. You know what I mean? And like I mentioned, that's not to say that women don't get to a certain age where they mature and they go, okay, well, now I need to settle down with a completely different type of guy than what I used to date. That's true. That does happen. But I think they do that not because they're attracted to that guy and because they're aroused by the type of guy. I think that's more of a strategy for settling down.
And it's unfortunate that that's the case, that you kind of have to play these games and figure out, well, how do I work this? I'm doing all these things thinking that I'm doing the right thing, but it turns out that I'm screwing myself over. I'm not getting anywhere with this girl. It's just wasting my time. I'm wasting my energy, my resources, and it's just spinning the wheel. So you have to take it where you're not mean to her. You're not nasty to her. There's one thing, there's one thing about being like a bad boy and an actual bad person. You don't want to be an actual bad person. You want to be a good guy. But by being the bad boy, it's kind of doing the opposite of what a typical nice guy in a relationship or in dating terms would do.
Rollo Tomassi put this in his book, where right from the beginning of the book, he says, genuine attraction is not negotiable. So like you just have to kind of constantly keep in your mind that you can't earn her attraction, right? Like if she's not into you, she's just not into you. So that's why being the nice guy doesn't work, because she's either attracted to or aroused by you by how you are or not. And you have to be able to identify that from the beginning, and don't fall into the nice guy routine, because she does not, like we said, they reward toxic behavior most of the time, and nice guys get pushed to the side.
Exactly.